once again with another live stream. What's going on, family? Your man B Miles is back on, you know, Christmas Eve. You know what I mean? We gonna do it upon this, this holiday season, as they say. But like I said, peace to grand rising to everybody. And I also want to say thank you, man, for, first of all, I just want to say peace and grand rising to everybody. Definitely want to thank the Most High God for waking me up for this beautiful day, for this wonderful rising. Hey, I know Cat Tao. What's going on? Yeah, it's good to see y'all. Yeah, come on in the side of the chat though, family. I actually want to change up the topic for real. You feel me? I kind of want to change up the topic, and I actually wanted to talk about this because I've been wanting this, subject to really come out for real. You feel me? Because I really feel that a lot of people have really been going through this for like quite some time, and I really want to actually break this down because I actually wanted to continue more so my talk yesterday because it's actually going to be dealing with the new wave and the new energy that we have been talking about as far as dealing with the new heaven and the new earth and stuff like that. You feel me? And like I said, before I go any further, you already know what to do for real when you come on in the side of the chat. You know what I'm saying? Come on in. You know what I'm saying? Come on in the side of the chat, man. Go ahead, get them likes up. Y'all greet one another. Say hi to one another. We don't argue, we don't debate, we don't troll one another, we don't challenge one another. We all on here on this chat, man, to grow, elevate, and evolve, and we also share and connect with people that is on here that are like-minded. You feel me? This is part of the reason why, I've always said this, because I always wanted to create a safe haven. Always wanted to create a safe haven where people that's going to be just like on pretty much on my frequency. You feel me? That's on that same frequency, and to where we can, what I'm saying, we can really grow and have the same type of people that's on the same frequency. You feel me? Because we're not here to gain knowledge to challenge one another and stuff like that. No, we supposed to gain knowledge to create, not knowledge to debate. You feel me? I don't do debates on this channel. That's not my purpose, or none of that stuff. Because I feel as though with debate is really a waste of time. Not to say we can't have open dialogue, we can learn something, but I'd rather be discussing things, you feel me, and talking amongst others, because we are living in a time frame right about now. We don't got no time for no damn debate at all. You know what I mean? We need to be focusing on create, you feel me, not a debate. But like I said though, right, the reason why I'm coming to y'all with this subject, hey Deborah Ticey, what's going on? Grand Rising, Deborah Ticey, yes man, because the title of it is like I said, Narcissists. Hey I'm Judah Chosen 144, what's going on? Yeah, because what I really had to realize and recognize though, right, like I told everybody yesterday, right, was when hey, Grand Rising, Deborah Ticey, good to see you. Yup, because I remember the time frame when, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go a little personal with y'all today, but I'm also really bring it out why this all coincide, right? Now, I've been rapping for a very long time, right? I actually been rapping for 27 years, since I was 13, since 1997, right? And even though when I was coming up, I never really thought that I actually wanted to really inspire to be a rapper, because I really felt like, it might not really get me anywhere, but it was like once I started rapping, I really became so good at it that I really fell in love with it. You feel me? And I was always told you need to do something with your rapping, right? So throughout my 20s, I was looking forward to do my rapping and stuff like that. But I will admit, I was around so much jealousy, envy, and hatred, man, that it really had me to succumb to it at that time frame, because I really did not know that at that time frame, people used to say it to me all the time, but I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, I know I'm a handsome brother, I know I look good, I got a lot of great things, good qualities about myself, but why is it that everybody always wanted to say like, oh, he think he hard, I don't like it, he a clown, he this, he that, you know what I mean? And see, once, and I've noticed that even when I was doing my music, I noticed I was always coming across like a lot of jealousy, envy, and hatred, and especially by the way how I carried myself. You already know how I carried myself, though, right? I've always been not bragging or boasting, but I've always been a very sharp dresser. That's always been me. I've always been that way. You know what I mean? And so I noticed in my 20s, I dealt with so much jealousy, envy, and hatred for real that I really began to like run for myself and try to fit in because I'm thinking that that was the way to go. You know what I mean? But whole entire time, I wasn't really feeling fulfilled because I wasn't really achieving my dream. But at the same time, I already knew, I'm going to be real with you, yo. I already knew how smart I was and how intelligent I was. I was so afraid to show it at times because I've seen the wickedness and the jealousy and the envy that I really witnessed, yo, to the point where that I can really feel death at times really coming around the corner. Like I really felt like a lot of people was plotting death on me for so many years. I can't even lie to you, yo. Sometimes I hate thinking, Sister Demon, like sometimes I would be like I wanted to go outside, but sometimes I would be afraid because I can see the demonic energy and the hatred in people. Like every time I go somewhere, people just would like I mean their energy would just be envious, yo. Don't get me wrong, yo. I also ran into a lot of really good people, but I ran into like a lot of envious, demonic, narcissistic people in my city. I will admit to you. And it kind of had me to like, you know what I mean, kind of like, like dim my light a bit. And, right after, you know what I'm saying, like, my mom died and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was like I felt like a failure because I really felt like I wasn't really fulfilling myself, and I felt like I let myself down and my mother down because I felt like she did not see her son accomplish his dream in real time. And I will admit, for like a couple of years, you know, I was like really, really down because I felt like I'm really approaching in my late 20s because my mom died in my late 20s. I was 20s, you know what I mean? I was 25 going on 26 when my mom, hey, really, Rivers, when my mom passed away. So, hold on one second. So, for like a couple of years, man, I was like down and I was hurt and I really didn't feel like rapping because, like, I was so broken as a man because I lost my mother and I took it really hard, but I lost my mom because I felt like she did not see her son accomplish his dream like everybody else did. And I really felt down. And for those years, I was grieving my mother. And then 3 years later, I lost my grandmother. So I really felt like, like I really felt like, you know what I mean? Like I'm 30 now, I'm 29 going on 30. I'm not even really trying to chase my dream anymore because I really felt like I was a complete, total, absolute failure, man, because my mother died and my grandmother died, and I took it really, really hard because they did not see me accomplish my dream because I really felt bad about myself because I was running from myself. You know what I mean? So I felt a lot of guilt within myself because I was too afraid at times to really show who I was when I knew how great I was. It was just the envy and the jealousy and the projection and the negative projections of people that I really begin to believe it when at the same time it really wasn't me. And so you could say, hey, Dark Man Warrior, so you could say as years went along for real, you know what I mean? Like I was like hearing like if you 30 years old, you're trying to rap, man, you really need to give it up. Rap is a young man's game. You too old to be rapping. And that was when like years later, that was when I started my YouTube channel, I'm saying, on July 16th, 2016. And I'm on there, making videos and stuff like that, making videos and stuff like that. And people used to tell me all the time, like, yo, B Miles, man, like, yo, you sound like a rapper, yo. Like, yo, you need to be rapping. Everybody was telling me, like, yo, this dude needs to get up in the booth, yo. It sound like he a rapper. And people used to laugh at me, hey, I'm Game Related Type Productions. And I'm looking at it like man, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was real conflicted. I'm not even gonna lie, like people telling me I'm sounding like a rapper and I'm up there trying to like still run from it because I was real conflicted at that time. And at the time when I started my YouTube channel, I was 32 at the time, and I kept hearing You too old to rap, you need to give it up, you know what I'm saying? And they were saying rap is really a young man's game. If you didn't get on, then you need to give it up. And I will admit, I was conflicted because I still wanted to do it, but I'm looking like I'm 32 years old right about now. So, I kept on making videos on YouTube and I kept on getting better and better. And my subscribers, y'all kept telling me the whole entire time, like, yo, B Miles, yo, you like, what are you doing, yo? Why you wasting time, yo? I could tell by the way how you put the words together, yo. You was a lyricist, man. Like, you need to jump in that booth. And I was like, nah, man, I used to rap, man. Like, man, whatever, man. I kept on trying to run from it. And it was like the harder that I kept running from it, I kept hearing it from y'all, my subscribers, like, yo, you need to get back to rapping, yo. So that was when I was like, you know what? Let me just drop a freestyle. Let me drop an old verse to my subscribers and let me see what they got to say. I wound up getting a decent response. So that was when I was, still making, my videos and stuff like that. And I kept on hearing it, right? And so eventually, after a while, I kept on dropping the freestyle here and there. And I was saying to myself, like, you know what, though, B? If you already got an audience right about now, yo, if you already got an audience right about now, though, right? You feel me? And I was saying to myself, if you got thousands of subscribers, B, you got an audience. Why not make a single and put it out there, yo? So that was when I wanted to tell myself back in 2018. I was like, yo, B, I was like, just go ahead and make a mixtape and just really see what, and just really see what it, just really see where it can go. Put out a single and just get a response. He had a real, you know what I mean? And so that was when back in 2018, I started to write out, the first song I started to write out was A Brighter Day. And so you could say like around like, 2018, 2019, like you can say like around 2019, that was when I really began to go through the process of like listen to the producer I'm bumping to right here, Grammatic. You know what I'm saying? Grammatic is the producer of his beats that I'm using, and all of his beats on here is for fair use. My lyrics are copywritten, but his beats are for fair use, you feel me? Because they allowed the revenue share on my live stream, so I'm giving him the credit. So like I said, back to the case in point, right? So you can say like around 2019, 2020 for real, right before the pandemic, that was when I really began to like listen to his instrumentals. And I was like, you know what? Because what I was going to do was I was going to use some of his beats and use some industry beats, make it like a mixtape. But I was like, you know what? I'm really loving this man beats, so why not go ahead and make a whole entire album? You could say for like 2018, you could say for 3 years I was bumping to his beats. Thank you, Dark Man Warrior. I was listening to Grammatic beats, and I was saying to myself, like, yo, I really love his production. His production goes right along with it, right? And so that's when eventually I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a whole entire album of his production because it matches my style. So I started to begin. Give me 1 second. All these ads, my fault, family. I started to listen to his beats, and then the next thing you know, I started going on a journey. I really began to like go up on the journey. That was when I really began to like started like writing out my album and stuff like that. I started to record songs. That was when I recorded It's 4-1 Over, the Be More Anthem. That was when I recorded Heartache, Trouble, and Sadness. And that was one of the first tracks that I did. And that was when I really began to like, you know what I mean? And you can say like right after I got up out of my oh yeah, yes he did, Adam Real. Oh yeah, shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea Duke Jackson, I want to give you a shout out, my brother, for using my video. You know what I'm saying? In the video. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He's showing me a lot of love by putting my video, you know what I'm saying, that I talked about Math Hoffa looking like a sucker. He used my content. So yeah. So shout out to you, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Yeah, he got my permission. You feel me? We always been cool, you feel me? So shout out to him, man. My subscribers have been going up, you feel me? So shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Appreciate that favor, man. Mad love. And so right after I got up out of my situation, right? Because I remember the time frame, right? Like when I kept telling everybody that the album was coming. and I told everybody, you know what I mean, I'm going to drop a single. And I remember the very first time, yo, when I was doing Heartache, Trouble, and Sadness, yo, I was super excited, yo. And when I finally dropped, yo, well, hey, Coco Crypto, when I finally dropped Heartache, Trouble, and Sadness, yo, the amount of reception that I got from y'all, I was so amazed of how y'all was blown away when I finally dropped that first single to y'all, Heartache, Trouble, and Sadness. I was super excited, yo. And let me tell you, when I dropped it at the video shoot, the people I was cool with at the time, they were really hating on me at the time. You know what I mean? And I can really tell. And those individuals is up there telling me like, I'm too old to rap. I need to give it up. You're not a rapper, you're a journalist. I'm talking about really showing a lot of hatred. You feel me? So that was when I finally got up out of that situation. That was when I really began to like really dedicate myself though, right? You know what I mean? To like keep on writing and recording songs. So you can say from like my fault, these damn ads, yo. Yep, you could say from like 21 to 2022, that was when I really began to start to like record a hell of a lot of songs for her. You feel me? That was when I finally, you know what I'm saying, started to like keep on recording songs. I kept on recording songs, and that was when I, you know what I mean, finally, back in like June of 2022 for real, that was when I finally got involved in the Jadakiss challenge though, right? When I finally got involved in the Jadakiss challenge, I was just real happy at the fact for real. You know what I mean? That I just submitted my music to Jadakiss though, right? And so that was when, so that was when like eventually after a while, months later, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I submitted my song "Heart is Trouble and Sadness" to Jadakiss, and I didn't even think nothing of it. That was when I got an email months later talking about, you know what I mean, from record label saw that you know what I mean, record label saw your song, and you know you pretty much are one of the artists that's been selected, you know what I mean, that passed the Jadakiss challenge, and I'm looking at it like, whoa, this is really amazing. And that was when I kept on recording my songs and recorded my songs. And that was when, you know what I mean, at the top of 2023, that was when I finally, that was when the 2022 for real, that was when I did Just Imagine the Life. You feel me? And that was when I did A Brighter Day for her. You feel me? You feel me? In 2022, that was when I dropped the singles, Just Imagine the Life and A Brighter Day. Hey, poor hackers. Hey, mediocre, yeah, you're not. And I was really excited because I didn't really think nothing of it. But I was really amazed because when I got involved in the Jadakiss challenge, it really went deeper into 2023, yo. And I really began to like do what? Send them my music, sending them my music. And the A&Rs was so super blown away, yo. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could not believe it, yo. Like I really could not believe it to the point where when I was up there bumping to my song Heartache, Trouble, and Sadness, I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to listen to my music from a fan perspective. Because I remember the time when I did the song In the City Blues, Taz Spitter and the people at the studio was like, yo, keep up what you doing, yo. Don't stop what you doing. What you doing right about now, yo. You doing a great thing, yo. I love your fucking music. And the people at the studio, they love In the City Blues. The Wire, you feel me? They said that's one of my best songs that I did. So they love the track, right? And so, you know what I mean? That was when I was like going through ups and downs. And that was when, yo, I was bumping the Heartache, Trouble, and Sadness from a fan perspective, right? And I was up there bumping to it. I'm listening to it from a fan perspective, yo. Don't you know I felt so deep into the song, yo? I felt so deep into the song that I was so impressed with the beautiful mind and that I had in the structure of my mind. I fell in love with the rhymes and the design of my own mind. I went inside of my own brain's design and I fell in love with it, and I could not believe how I literally structured that song inside of my mind. Like I literally went deep into I went deep into the depth in the crevices of my mind, and I saw the depth of my own lyrics, yo. It was like I can understand what Rakim was saying. I fell deep into the paper like I was ink. I fell deep into the rhyme. I understand what Rakim mean. But now start to think. He said, he said something like, I start to sink like paper, like I was ink. When I'm right, I'm trapped in between the lines. You feel me? I overstand that, which means I overstand the depth. You feel me? I felt the depth in the deepness of the metaphors inside of my mind. It was an out of body experience. I'm having the out of body experience with my own to the point where I literally was so blown away, yo. I was on the bus going crazy that my mind was elevated. I elevated my own mind, yo. I stepped outside of myself and elevated myself through my own mind by listening to it. I went inside. It was like a movie. I really saw the beauty. I saw a movie in my mind play out, and I saw the beauty in my mind play out. And that was when I finally began to realize and recognize, now I understand why people were showing so much hatred. See, once you recognize how and why you're so great, you will understand why you receive so much hate. Oh yeah, he does. Exactly, Darkman Warrior, yes. And see, now I can see and understand and understand why I was receiving so much hatred. You want to know why? Because once I really begin to see the beauty inside of my mind, I saw the light. I literally saw my aura. I saw that light. So I recognized what was coming out of me. I saw my own light come out of me shine. So now I really recognize I really recognize why I was going through so much hatred. You want to know why? I went inside of my own mind. Once I went inside of my own mind and I fell in love with my mind design, I fell in love in the way how I structured the words, the bars. It was unlike anything I've ever heard in my life. I said, nobody raps like me, nobody rhyme. And I said, yo, I said, this dude is amazing. I'm sitting there going out of my mind, hearing myself like, yo, this dude is amazing. I see why. Once you understand, yo, once you go inside of your own mind and once you understand your own greatness, yo, once you understand how and why you're so great, you will see why you receive so much hate. Because it's already written over you. Your journey is already written all over you. That's what these demons see. Narcissistic demons, they can see your end result all over you. It is written all over you, yo. Everything is written all over you. The greatness that is coming out of you, yo, is already shining out of you. It's already written all over you. So a lot of times they're gonna attack that part that you don't see. Narcissistic demons, they can already see. They can already see what you don't see, which means they can see your journey. They can see where you are headed. They can see that you got something going on. They can see your aura and your light. They see what you already are projecting. Hey, Soul Era. All right, okay, cool, got you. Thank you, Soul Era. Yes, they can already see. They already see that you are built for that. They already see that you were built for the journey. They know that you were on your journey. They can see your light. They can see the greatness coming out of you every single time. Just by they can see it in your eyes. They can tell by the way you stand. They can tell by the way you walk, by the way you talk. They can just see it. Just as a matter of fact, just by the way you present yourself, it says a lot about you. Your presence already shows it that you about some shit. The reason why these demons want to doubt you, because they know it's something about you. Bars. And you know what the problem is? I came up with these quotes today, yo. And the reason why these people, they never set the reason why these people always fail because they ship never set sail. The reason why they can't stay afloat because they not focused on their own boats. That's the reason why people always are jealous of you. Why? See, the reason why haters' blessings are blocked because you too afraid to leave your own dock. See, they already see you left the dock, which means you ready to leave the block. Your boat has left the dock. You feel me? They see that your ship has set sail. You moving on to something. Their ship is at the dock. As a matter of fact, they haven't even built their ship yet. If they did, it went down like the Titanic. You feel me? They are too afraid. The reason why they don't want to sail, because they too afraid to fail. That's why they always fail, because their ship has never set sail. Because they worry about someone else's boat. That's why they can't stay afloat. How are you going to know what's out there if you don't leave the dock? They already see that you left the dock and your blessings are not being blocked. That's why. The reason why narcissists fail, it is because they're too afraid to see how their own ship can set sail. Hey, Jenny Truesdale, bars. They are too afraid to see their own ship set sail. That's why they always fail. Because they too worried about jumping on someone else's boat. That's why they can't stay afloat. Because you were not focusing on how you're going to set sail in life. That is the problem with too many men and women. You are worried about other people. And see, that's the reason why they fail. You feel me, Deborah Ticey Bars? The reason why so many haters fail. The reason why all these narcissistic hating demons, they always fail because they too afraid to see how their ship can set sail. If you look at them, they're not going anywhere, which means they have not left the dock. That's why they're too afraid to leave the block. They're too afraid to leave the block, which means they're too afraid to leave the dock. You stuck on the block. That means you still at the dock. If I left the block, that means I set sail. That's why you can see it in my life why I don't fail. They see you having success. That's the reason why. The reason why they feel with so much stress, because they too afraid to go after their own success. Think about it. They don't want to set sail in their own life. That's why they are stuck. Yeah. They are stuck because they are spiritually and morally corrupt. That's why they self-destruct. Because they are too focused on worried about somebody else. That's what they see. That's why they always got to be attacking. Because they don't want to look at the mirror reflection of themselves, but they see it as somebody else. That's why they are too afraid to look in the mirror. That's why their vision is never clearer. This is what I learned about narcissism. You feel me? Once you focus on the person in the mirror, your vision will become clearer. You feel me? You won't need to focus on somebody else. Why? Because you are enjoying yourself. The problem with people is they too afraid to look at themselves and they can't enjoy themselves. They don't even know how to enjoy themselves. But they see that in you. You feel me? If you look at haters, they always in drama and chaos. People that are in order don't deal with drama and chaos. They do not. They see that in you. They can already see that in you. They see where you're going because it's already written. Yeah, that's what I had to figure out. All those projections was nothing but a mirror reflection of them, not you. Everything that they projected It was really about them. It was not about you. They just had to project it onto you because all of the great things that they were attacking was the greatest parts about you that they are lacking that you couldn't see. Everything that you was projecting, you were the reflection that they see that they could never be. Bars. Or every great thing about you. It was so many great things about you that you were projecting that you did not see. That's why I say once you get in tune with your gift, your whole life is going to shift. Why? Because you are really going to find out even more. Why? No. Yeah. Like the B said, y'all, you can only project what's within. Exactly. Every single day. Every single day of time. What are they doing? They always doing something to do right. Project something. You're not talking about me. You're talking about yourself. That's what they always do. They always got to project something. You feel me? They got to project it onto somebody that's, it's like they always projecting what they are not reflecting. You feel me? Everything about you that you are reflecting, they doesn't reflect in their life. So they gotta, everything that they feel about themselves, they gotta project it onto somebody else. That's why they gotta be in secret competition. They are always in secret competition. People's lives that are, people who live their life in, people who live their lives filled with fiction, they are walking contradictions. They don't know how to live their life in non-fiction. They don't. Hey, Simone Walker. Thank you, Sister Iman. That's right, at a real yeah. They don't. Everything that they see in the mirror, they are not reflecting. So everything that they are feeling about themselves on towards somebody that is showing greatness, they gotta be reflected. You feel me? You are the reflection that they see that they can never be. That's why towards you, all of the greatest parts about you, yup, 1111, the greatest parts about you, they are attacking are the greatest parts about you that they are lacking. Everything that's great about you that they are attacking is the greatest parts about you that they are lacking. Every great thing about you, you are what? Projecting. They are lacking. You feel me? They know that they have not been selected. You feel me? They can already see it. Like my man AZ said, he said, we on the inside looking out. It's kind of hard to see the person on the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? Which is true. Oh yeah. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear. You know what I'm saying? Yup, which is true. Yup. See, a lot of times we go through life for real, you feel me? And we really, we were really trying to find out why we get hated on, why everybody want to pick on us, why everybody, you know what I'm saying, wanted to show this amount of jealousy. Why is everybody showing this negative energy? See, the whole entire time, a lot of us, we ran from ourselves because, you know what I mean, we ran from ourselves and we lowered ourselves and we dimmed our light because we were really trying to find ourselves. We were really trying to find ourselves, but really the whole entire time, we were, put it like this, as we knew it was something great about ourselves, we just had to really figure it out much more deeper about ourselves. And here's the thing, the older you got, the more your light grew. Your light got stronger as you got older. Because little do you know, you was tapping into it naturally. Even when you tried to run from it, you were still tapping into it. You want to know why? Because you naturally got it, and you naturally got to do it because you were naturally fluid. Your light is naturally fluid. So whatever greatness you got, you're going to be like Nike and just do it. Why? Because it's in you. It is in you to be great. You got to be great. You're going to look good. You're going to look nice. You're going to keep yourself up. You're going to walk with your head held high. You're going to have a certain kind of confidence. Why? Because it's in you. You're going to speak well. You're going to look different. You're going to stand out. Why? It's in you. Your light is going to draw people to you, and it's going to draw people away. It is naturally in you to be gifted with the light. You're supposed to be the shit. God's chosen is meant to be the shit. Bars. We are selected and chosen. We were meant to be the shit. So guess what? The chosen ones are the shit. The chosen were meant to be the shit. We was meant to be that. We was meant to be confident. We wasn't meant to walk around dimming our light. No. Hey, Nick, you going to smoke blunts because it's in you. Huh? What up, King Hazy? What's going on, bro? Yes, you are naturally going to do the great things. Why? You want to know why? Because you are the main attraction. You are the main attraction. Wherever you go, you are the main attraction without even trying. And see, that's the thing. You want to know why they hate you? Because you are the star and you naturally got attraction without even trying to show it. What up, Akari Maurice? What's going on, bro? Good to see you, man. Yes. You got that natural aura and attraction. You are the star in the show. You got a different flow and you are the star of the show. You feel what I mean? That's why. You got that glow and you are the star of the show. That's right. Never been on you, but always been in you. That's right. But that light is always in you, yo. Why do you think so many people, they always standing around looking at you? Always standing around talking about you? They may be talking shit, but they are studying the shit. You ever notice that, yo? People that are the shit always talking shit, but they always studying your shit. Because they really want to flow the way that you flow. They want to walk calm. Yeah, they want to walk calm the way how you walk. They want to talk how the way you talk. They want to have that confidence. They want to have that aura. You feel me? They don't have it in them, but they can see it in you. But that's the thing. What they see in you, they don't see in the mirror. That's right. You got a different glow. You got a different flow, and you are the star of the show. Bars. Somebody put the links in the chat, family. Go ahead and get them likes up. Get them likes up, family. Yeah. My email address is brandonmouse410@yahoo.com. The cash app to donate the $sign BMouse8. Any mouse appreciated. My Facebook is Brandon Mouse L to follow me on there. Yeah, yo. You got a different glow. You got a different flow, and you are the star of the show. Without you even trying, yo. Without you even trying, you are the star of the show. Every way. Why? Because you got a glow. The reason why you the star of the show, because you got a glow. Even your haters always know. Bars. Remember that. The reason why you the star of the show, because you got a different flow and you got a different glow. That's why. That's why you were hated. Because your style, they want to duplicate it. You feel me? Yes. Get them lights up. Yeah. Yo, they can already tell the minute that they see you for real, they can already tell, oh, he one of them. Yup, he got eyes that can see. Guess what, yo? These narcissistic demonic demons, yo, I'm gonna be real. You wanna know what narcissistic people have showed me? Narcissism has really showed me why it's so great. So I'm not saying I'm glad I went through it. I'm glad I got out of it, because it had me to recognize why I was so great. Narcissism will have you, when you're dealing with narcissistic recovery, it will really have you to understand, and understand, yo, why you were so great. You were really going to understand it. Guess what? While you're dealing with the energy shift at this time frame with the new heaven and the new earth, you were really going to start diving deeper into the greater parts about you that the old world wanted to hide from you, or they projected fear onto you so you can fear yourself. The goal of the narcissistic, you know what I call them? Narcissists got. I call it they got narcissistic hater syndrome. You feel me? NHS, narcissistic hater syndrome. You feel me? Narcissistic hating syndrome. Yep, they have that in them. They have a hater mentality and a very narcissistic mentality. And in every step about them, they got hatred towards you. And here's the thing. Everything they show hatred towards you is something sacred towards you. Yes, they got a deep, dark hatred because nothing about them is sacred, yo. They are spiritually naked. Bars. They attack with sacred. They attack with sacred because they attack everything with they attack everything that is sacred, filled with hatred, because they are spiritually naked, which means they are empty. They are not filled up. They are empty cup. They are, yes, they are mentally dead, mentally empty. They are not filled up. And that's the reason why they don't feel fulfilled enough. Yep, they are empty vessels. That's why they operate at a lower level, because they are low vibrational programmed devils, bars. So I took that and flipped that to a bar. They are empty vessels that operate at a lower level because they are low vibrational programmed devils. That's why they never go to a higher level. You want to know why? Because the devil can't think heavenly. That's why they can never reach a higher destiny. You will never reach a higher destiny if you can't think heavenly. And the thing about it is, you got demons that are trying to match, you know what I'm saying, your heavenly mind state. Thank you, Samal Walker. Yes. Thank you, Nasser, praise Yahweh. Appreciate it. Yes. They cannot think heavenly. You cannot reach a higher destiny if you cannot think heavenly. If you are an empty vessel at a lower level thinking that a devil, you will not go to another level. That's right, Marie Reed. I'm full of bars. That's right. Yeah. That's right. You will never reach far. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, for real. They too afraid to tap in and see what they wanted to do to you the whole entire time. They wanted you to run from the greatest parts about yourself. They didn't want you to tap in deeper. So what they wanted you to do was they wanted you to run from yourself. They feared everything about you. Hey, April, all of the great things that they feared about you was the greatest parts that was about you, that was really coming out of you. The greatest parts about you was really coming out of you. That's why they wanted to doubt you and reroute you. Bars. The greatest parts about you was naturally coming out of you. That's why they wanted to doubt you and reroute you. Because everything that was great about you was coming out of you. Naturally. Your aura, it's like everything about you. It's like the way you talk. You talk with a lot of confidence. You walk with that confidence. Your eyes shows confidence. You can get the job well done with confidence. Everything you do, you naturally do it well with confidence. That's right, so ever. I'll be there for 95. Your bars and bars is coming. You feel me? That's right, so ever. You feel me, so ever? Your greatness brings them terror. Bars. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Your aura brings them terror. That's why they gotta be the most ultimate competitor. Really, it's like they try to be the biggest competitors all the time. See, the reason why they gotta compete, because they know you naturally won't meet the feat. You feel me? Their main reason they're in competition, they want to put you in submission. They want to put you in submission. But see, here's the thing. By them trying to be in competition, they lose themselves. And when they lose themselves, they get put out of commission. You want to know why they get put out of commission? Because they too afraid to follow their own mission. See, when you were trying to hijack somebody else's mission, you will get put out of commission. Why? Because it's naturally not yours. So what did they go through? They go through a period of what? Self-destruction. Because they dealt with what? Spiritual corruption. When they try to hijack your path, they go through a period of self-destruction. Their self-destruction, has caught up with them because they go through self-destruction. Their self-destruction has caught up to their spiritual corruption. When you try to hijack the path of the chosen, you go through a period of self-destruction because your self-destruction has caught up to your spiritual corruption. Why? Because you were trying to take on a path that's not yours. You go on a path that's not yours. You weren't chosen for that. So what God does to the spiritual hijacker, guess what? Guess what? God put them in the path. Right, you know what the Most High do? God put them through the test of your path to see that they are worthy of your path. And you want to know what happens? You want to know what happens? They really start going through mental withdrawals and spiritual withdrawals. You want to know why? Because the path that they trying to steal, you feel me? It starts affecting their demons. And things start to get revealed like they wasn't built for it. The reason why they start feeling a lot of guilt, because they see this is not the path that they were built. Oh yeah, thank you, Blood Moon. Appreciate it, y'all. Yeah, O'Shea D. Jackson. Yeah, he featured my video. Shout out to O'Shea D. Jackson. Appreciate it. One love. Get them lights up. That's right. Yup. That's right, Samal Walker. They literally start malfunctioning right in front of you. What up, Jerry Hutchinson? Shout out to upstate New York. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's right. Yup. You want to know why? Because your light in your path is too strong for them. So what goes on is your light starts to do what? You know what I mean? When they try to steal your light starts to trigger the demons in them. Because they are demon trying to steal lights. Pretty much, you are like Blade. They are like the vampires. Once they see the light triggers the demons and they go through a spiritual combustion, which means they go crazy. And that spiritual combustion is the self-destruction of their spiritual corruption. Remember the movie Blade? Every time the vampires saw the light, what did they do? You ever notice they start going through combustions and all of them demons start coming out of them and boom, that's what happened to narcissistic demons. The light triggers the demons in them. The demons, because you were naturally not an angel or one with the light. So when you try to take God's light, it starts triggering the demons. So that's when the narcissistic hater starts to get conflicted. You trying to take the path in the light of somebody else because you were not the chosen one. Hear the beat? How are you going to like, I got a quote, I said this. Yep. Matter of fact, oh yeah. Matter of fact, let me see. Yep. All right, what's that quote that I had? I know I had a quote. Because like I said, here's another quote for me. The devil's purpose is to keep you distracted in his circus. The devil's purpose is to keep you distracted in his circus. Hey, Charles Wilson, what up, bro? Hey, King Gucci TV. That's right. Yep. That's right. People that live in the facade want to sabotage. That's another quote by me. It was that one quote that I had. Yep. 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 You will never be great filled with negative energy while secretly being the enemy. That's why they go through spiritual corruption, because you were trying to, it's like, how would you going to think about it? You got to really think about that. Thank you, Sister Iman. Sister Iman got all of the links. Yeah, you will never be great filled with negative energy while secretly being the enemy. You want to know why? Because you will focus your energy too much on being the enemy. So if you're going to focus your energy while being the enemy, how are you going to go to another level? You're not. It's naturally not in you to go to another level. Why? Because you were busy being the devil. That's why they wanted to be a demon towards you. Eventually, after a while, because I remember the time frame, I remember the time frame. Like, I remember seeing dudes for real. Like, every time I come around, they would just spaz out and go crazy for no reason. And I'd be looking at them like, yo, what the hell is their damn problem? Like, what is going on with these dudes? I'm talking about they would literally go crazy and spaz out. And I'm looking like, yo, what is going on, yo? What the hell is going on with this dude, man? I'm like, yo, are you serious? That is because your light triggered they demons. And it's like, no matter, right? And it's like, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, you always stay true to you. That's why. The reason why they hate on you, because you always stay true to you. They see that you are not living in the facade. People that are, as a matter of fact, it's like you are in the light, they are in the dark. The narcs operate in the dark. You feel me? Yes. Like the beast saying. That's right. Yeah, you are the one. You always reflecting something great. Because what you also got to understand is this. The reason why they can't deal with hate, the reason why they will never achieve greatness, because they live in fakeness. You will never ever achieve greatness when you are living in fakeness. If you were busy living in a facade, you will never take charge. That's why they always fail. And little do you know when they little do you know when they try to take over your lane, guess what? They self-sabotage on their own. You wanna know what's so funny? Here's another quote from me, yo. Yup. Jealousy is so real, yo, that they would rather be somebody else's clone instead of making their own. They rather be a clone instead of them getting their own. Got you, Charles Wilson. Hey, Kuwaiti, that's right, yeah. We vibrate high, they vibrating low. Yeah, that's real, yeah. Yes, everything about you always smell greatness about you. That's one of the main reasons why, yo. Yeah, yo, I'm telling you, man, like once you recognize your greatness, yo, it's to the point where now you're not even going to fear yourself, yo. The whole entire goal was to get you to lower yourself and to fear yourself. Because all your life, yo, hey, the Tree Johnson, all your life, what you gotta realize is this, yo. When you really sit back and when you really sit back and when you really reflect, yo, think about all of the compliments that you got from people. You feel what I mean? Think about all of the compliments you got from people, and also think about all of the hatred you got from people. You feel me? You will really see. You will really see, yo, why you got so much hatred, yo. Because ever since you were young, you knew that you knew that you were different, yo. Ever since that you were young, you knew that you were different, yo. You knew that you were unlike anybody else, yo. You knew, right? You knew you wasn't. You knew that you were different. You just had to really go through so many things to really figure out who you was. And sometimes we knew how great we was, but we started to doubt ourselves because we let the projections of other people, you know what I mean, to like cloud our mind into really believing that we was less than. Nah, you were never less than. You were better than the whole entire time. That's why they were always on the attack. Because you got a different aura, you got a different energy, and everything about you is totally different, yo. They cannot flow the way you flow, and they can, yo, they are mad at the fact that you naturally have the gift. See the reason, yep. So the reason why, you know what I mean, their life don't shift because they failed to tap within their gift. That's why. Yep. Until they do that, guess what? That's right. Everybody can't stand in your life. Yep. So they tried to dim it. That's right. Yep. Because realistically, your light is too strong for demons. So they always gotta feel as though they gotta like take over it. You feel me? Why do you think they always want to dominate the conversation? They always gotta jump in front of you. You feel me? Yo, narcissistic demons are just like Diddy. They want to take all the spotlight. Yes, no Diddy. Yep. Narcissists are just like Diddy, yo. They want to take all the shine from you. You naturally got the shine. Yep. They want to take and use somebody else's light and likeness and use it for themselves. Then they want to jump in front of it. You feel me? You ever notice that, yo? Mm-mm. They don't got it like you, yo. Like that's when I really had to recognize that, yo. Yo, just like I'm not even gonna lie, yo. Like once I really got back into rapping, I really gotta tell you though, man, it has been the greatest decision that I ever made, yo. For real, yo. For real, yo. Ever since I really got back into rapping, yo, it has been the greatest decision I've made. Outside of starting my YouTube channel, yo. Me starting my YouTube channel and me getting back to rapping has been two of the greatest decisions I've ever made, yo. For real, yo, because like I said, man, like I couldn't run from it, yo. And see, what you gotta understand, yo, your haters wanted you to run from yourself. But eventually, after a while, like I said, once you recognize that greatness, eventually, after a while, it's like once you recognize your greatness, you are no longer going to run from it. You're not even going to want to run from it. You feel me? You want to know why? Because you are going to fall in love with it. You're going to fall in love with yourself so much in your greatness that you're not even trying to run. You're going to be looking like, what the hell I need to run from? You feel me? For real, yo, you're going to be looking like, what, yo, and the whole entire time, you're going to be looking like, why the hell I was running? And guess what? That's what I went through. I was looking at it like, yo, why the hell was I running, yo? I didn't need to run. Because see, all your rewards is right there. Why the beat is the quality so low? For real, yo. Once you really tap into your greatness, yo, you are no longer going to want to run from it, yo. Once you recognize your greatness, yo, you're not even going to want to run from it. Get them likes up, y'all. Play or get in front of everybody else, yup, try to shake you, but it usually ends up backfiring, yup. Exactly. And they be the biggest witches and warlocks that always got that demonic energy all the daggone time. And see, like I said, you really understand that, yeah, had to deal with the part of yourself. Exactly, yup. Yeah, yup, and their political hidden agendas, yup, all the time. They always got something. Yeah, yup. You know what I'm saying? Like, put it like this. Like, you really put it like this though, yo. You were really pretty much like this. You were Q. The haters are like Bishop. Your haters are like Bishop. You were like Q. You feel me? You really the one that got the juice. That's right. We were really the ones that was like, you know what I mean? We were really the ones that had the juice the whole entire time. Yo, we were like Q. The haters were like Bishop. Bishop hated on Q. You feel me? You want to know why? Because he had the talent. He had something different about him. You feel me? Bishop did not really see himself. Yo, as a matter of fact, yo, look at the lesson, yo. As a matter of fact, remember that scene when he approached Q for real? Yo, he literally told him to his face, I ain't shit. So the minute I find out, getting them said, I ain't shit, you ain't gonna be shit. He was trying to pull him down to his level. You wanna know why? You know what I also think, yo? You know what I also think? I think Bishop, yo, set that whole thing up to rob that store so they can literally sabotage Q, yo. He wanted to sabotage Q. You want to know why? Because he was great at DJing. If they didn't do that robbery, and guess what? He was going to go back to that, what's the cash app? $$ B Mouse 8. $ B Mouse 8. Rather one and only. Yes. Bishop wanted to sabotage Q. You want to know why? Because he saw that Q had a gift. He saw that he was going places. You can really tell, yo. Just look at that, yo. What's that, Rob on the Noni? Do that favor for me, please, though. Oh yeah, what's the favor? Yeah. Key, look up Ad Rivals and tell me who's the original. Look up AR Ad Rivals. Original beat that is. For real, yo. You said Rivals?
Homie not connected, he a dick eater. I will write a ether. I'm a 6 feet.
Oh, that's that beat, Daddy. Where have you been? That was on the Dynasty. Beans used that beat. Daddy, where have you been? Yeah, that was on that was on the Dynasty album. Yeah, that was the Cassidy that's right, the one and only. Yeah. Yeah, yup. We love that beat. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my word, yo. All right, what was I saying? Damn. Yeah, man. Like once you really, like I said, once you really recognize, and somebody put the links in the chat for Rod, the one and only. Yeah, like I said, yup. Oh yeah, yup. Yup, yeah, when they wanted to rob the bar, because remember that time frame? Yo, think about it. You ever noticed it, right? They did the robbery during the same time of the same night for real of the day. You feel me? On the same day where he was DJing, right? And yo, as a matter of fact, yo, just look at Bishop's face. Remember the time when Q was up there DJing? And remember the time when they all came back for real, yo? And they was ready to do the robbery? Just look at Bishop's face, yo. He was jealous of Q the whole entire time, yo. And yo, even look at the way, yo. Look at the way how he was looking at him, yo. Yup, the night of the DJ contest. Look at that, yo. Bishop set that up, yo. And then look at the way Bishop act. Cause I got it, motherfucker. Then he turned on his friends. But the main one he wanted to get was Q. Cause Q had a lot of potential. Q was the one with the most potential. You wanna know why? Look at it, yo. You wanna know why, yo? Just look at it, yo. Raheem was dealing with baby mama drama. You know what I mean? Still, he was just pretty much there. And then at the same time, Bishop, he really didn't see himself going anywhere because his father got raped in prison. And when you really look at it, Cuba's the one with the most potential. Then at the same time, he had the ladies. He had the older woman. He had a fine older girl he was seeing. He was in school, had a fine older woman he was seeing, and he can DJ. Bishop saw that, yo. Bishop saw that, yo, right? He had the talent in the crew. See, yo, I'm not even gonna lie. When I went back and watched it, I saw that more in depth. I said, oh, Bishop was jealous of Q. You wanna know why? Because Q had the most talent. He had the most potential out of the crew. Remember that part? Look at that scene when $8 B Mouse 8. It's $8 B Mouse 8. Yep. Yo, go back and look at that part. Remember the time a Q was up there DJing, everybody was cheering him on, everybody was happy. But just look at Q in his face. He was just mean monkey. He won't even look at happy for him. He was not happy for him at all, yo. Not at all. Just look at that part, yo. And look what he said at the locker. He said, I ain't shit. Pretty much he was projected on the Q. So the minute I ain't gonna be shit, you ain't gonna be shit. He was up there projecting that onto him. That was Bishop projected that narcissistic jealousy onto Q. You feel me? He wanted to bring Q down to his level. You feel me? Bishop, thank you, Rod, the one and only, for the $20 donation. Thank you. Yes, Bishop was jealous of Q. Thank you, Rod, the one and only, for the $20 donation. Yup, Bishop was jealous of Q. Somebody been reporting your Cash App for real? I don't know why, but Rod, the one and only, mine should be it should be straight though. I don't know who been doing that, but it should be straight though. You feel me? Yo, for real. Yeah, thank you, the Tree Jones, for putting the links up. Okay, thanks. All right. Matter of fact. Hell yeah, yo, for real, yo. Like I told you, once you recognize how great you are, you're gonna be loving it as well, yo. Like I said, tap into that greatness, yo. But like I said, that's what Q is doing. Q is tapping into that greatness. Yup, as a matter of fact, they showed you in the beginning. What was he doing? DJing. Q was tapping into that greatness. And Bishop was jealous. And remember the time frame? He said, yo, they got a contest going on, yo. I should go to that, yo. And guess what? What did Q do? He went to the audition, then he wound up doing it. And guess what, yo? Bishop set that up to sabotage him, yo. When you really take a look at it, yo, Q was the one with the juice, yo. That's why the dude told him at the end, you got the juice. You want to know why? He was the main one. Q was the one with the most brains. He's like, yo, why he gotta have it? Because he knew the mindset of Bishop. The main one that was on point was Q. Q was the smartest one. Bishop was a hater, yo. He was a hater and a manipulator, yo. And all the drama that they got put in, yo, it was Bishop's fault. He was a hater, a traitor, a manipulator, and he was the common denominator. Bishop was a true frenemy. He was never their friend, yo. Yup, Q was the chosen one, yup. Q, yeah, exactly, yup. Wow, James Nicholson, wow. Yeah, Bishop was full of wrath. He was hating on all of them, yup. Exactly. Bishop was never their real friend, yo. Because look at it, all of them at least had a little something that was going on. Yeah, yo. They should have peeped the signs, yo. They all should have really peeped the signs, yo. Yup, and you seen the movie so many times, but see, yo, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm glad that I saw it when I got older. because I really began to see like, yo, Bishop was jealous of all of his friends, mainly Q. Think about it. Why do you think, yo? Why do you think they did that during the night of his competition? They wanted to sabotage him. They wanted to sabotage Q, yo. In particular, Bishop. Because think about it. It's a movie, so I had to play it out, but still, yup. Yeah. Go back and watch it in depth. You're gonna look at it totally different now, yo. Because listen, he gave Q, yo, the minute you know what, now that I really think about it, you can see the jealousy come out, yo. Listen to the key point. He was like, look, I ain't shit. I'm never gonna be shit. Pretty much what he's saying is, I know I'm not nothing. So we had to project that onto Q. I ain't shit. So the minute I ain't gonna be shit, you ain't gonna be shit. He knew that Q was the one. He knew that Q was the shit. He knew. You want to know how Q was the smartest one? He was like, yo, why we gotta be doing this? Like, yo, why he gotta have the gun? Because he already knew what kind of person Bishop was. Q knew what was going to happen right after that. And remember the time right after the robbery? He's like, yo, you crazy, yo. And he came up to him, if you ever call me crazy again. He was ready to kill Q right there, yo. And guess what? Remember the time when he went to Raheem's funeral? Remember that same look? He gonna hug Raheem's mother, and then he looked up at Q. That was the same look that Michael Corleone gave to Al Nuri, yo. He was a Judas, yo. Bishop was Judas. He was cold, yo. You're gonna kill your man short at his funeral? Remember that time he hugged Raheem's mom, and then he looked up at Q like that? Yo, he had a deep, dark obsession, yo. Yeah, I'm bringing back some memories about Juice, yo. You gotta go back and really look at it, yo. Q was the one. Yeah, he gave the evil side. Matter of fact, boy, let me go show you, yo. Boy, he gave him that side eye, yo. Yo, matter of fact, just look, yo. Come on, yo. That was just wicked, yo. See that, yo? You killed this man, and you looking up at, yup, and look at that. That's both this in the same scene. Oh, that is perfect, yo. Look at that. And he was just looking at him like, you, Cuba's looking at you, sick bastard. And look at him. See that? That evil, wicked side eye, yo. Yup. Teresa, I gotta watch that movie tonight. Yeah, yo. That scene was savage, yo. Bishop was savage, yo. For real, yo. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play that scene real quick, yo. I don't own the rights, it's for fair use only, yo. I mean, seriously, yo.
Get 1.9% APR for up to 60 months, plus 1,000 retail bonus cash on specially taxed 2025 Sportage and Sorrento vehicles.
Circumstances, am I right?
Let me rewind it. Yo, you see how Bishop was looking at him in the back? Yo, let me rewind it. Ain't that heavy, yo? You see that side eye, bruh? Ooh. That's how haters look at us, yo. That ain't that deep. Damn, yo, and I gotta tell you, yo, Juice was a horror movie, yo. You see that look, yo? Boy. You see that look? Boy. Classic. I know a lot of y'all gonna go back and watch Juice tonight. But yo, you see that side eye? He looking at him like this the whole time. I'm like, you fuck ass nigga, yo. You see that? That's how haters look at us, yo. That evil, wicked side eye, yo. And you see how he came in and tried to take over and step in? and you Judas the whole entire goddamn time. Yep, it was a straight up look. Right in the beginning, he gave him the side eye. But when he hugged his mom, he gave him that straight evil look, yo. Straight evil look, yo. I mean, woo! That straight evil look, yo. First he gave him the side eye, then he gave him the straight evil straight up, yo. You right, Marie, the good God Almighty. Oh my God, somebody put the links in the chat, family. Oh my God, yo, yes. Every time you come around, yo, that's how your haters be looking, yo. Yeah, I will admit, Pop played that role, yo. He really played Bishop, yo, to the T. And right after that, yo, that was when he had that scene saying, oh yeah, yup. You're right, BF 95. Yup, you gotta go back and watch it because it was dark psychology. And if you notice at the end of the movie, guess what happened? Bishop was losing his grip. That was, you know what I mean? And Q was at the top. Guess what? Guess what showed at the end? Yup, Bishop was at the bottom. Q was at the top. They showed you symbolically who was really the top one. It was Q. And what happened to Bishop? He fell. That's what happened to the narcissists, yo. They always fall on their own sword. That was symbolic. And you know another thing as well? What if the Lion King got that from them? Remember, he was holding them and then he let them go? The same thing happened to Juice, happened in Lion King. Remember that shit? That was symbolic and showing who was really the top one. That's why the guy told Q, you got the juice now. Really, realistically, Q had the juice the whole time. Q was the one who had it. Yo, Q, think about it. Did Rodamaz and them bother him? No. Q was the one with the juice the whole time. Bishop wanted his spot. You ever notice the one who was in the least amount of trouble was Q? Look at the ending, yo. Q, yeah, yo. See, Bishop thought he was winning the battle, but Q won the war. You feel me? Look at that scene when he went over the building. You feel me? All of that was symbolic of the show. Like, look, Q was the one who got the juice anyway. You feel me? Bishop was a narcissist, yo. Bishop was a liar and a narcissist, yo. Yeah, yo. Bishop was a hating narcissist, yo. And he had to try to prove his manhood because his father got his manhood taken. He was insecure, that's right. His masculinity was not in check. So we saw Q as a threat. Bars. Q was the one that was shining. And if you notice something in the beginning, it showed who was really the one with the juice. You know what Juice showed us? It showed in the beginning who really had the juice. Who was going to come out on top, which was Q. Q was the first one. And he was what? The last. Q was the first one they showed, and he was the last one they showed. Isn't that ironic? The first one they showed on screen was the one who had the juice. It was Q. Damn! I'm looking at juice from a deeper level, yo. Ain't that deep, yo? How I'm breaking down juice from a deeper level, yo? Yeah, that's right, yo. We know a lot of people like Bishop, yo. I got you, Deborah Tyson. You cool. I know you are. You cool. Yeah, yo. The one who had the juice was the one with the talent. And it was Q. Q was the one. You feel me? Q was the one. Q was the one who had the juice. Why? Because he had the talent. Yep. Yep. Q was the one. Every herald in America had a bishop. You ain't never lying. You ain't never lying. Yep. There are many Qs in the hood and many bishops. And there are many bishops that want to take out Q. You feel me? They jealous. Yup. For real, yo. Yeah, that's real. Yup. This is real, yo. It's a lot of bishops out there, yo. For real. And guess what? I seen a hell of a lot of bishops, yo. I seen a hell of a lot of bishops out there that wound up dying just like Bishop, yo. You want to know what happened to Bishop? Bishop self-destructed, yo. Bishop self-destructed. What the hell is this? Hold on a second, y'all. Hello? 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 See what I mean? People on that bullshit. My fault, family. I thought it was an important phone call and people want to be on bullshit. My fault, family. Yeah, you feel me? Yeah, yo, it's a lot of people it's a lot of people around that are just like Bishop, yo. Yo, just really go back and watch that movie Juice, and you will really see it. You will really see what I'm talking about, yo. Like it's way deeper, yo. The psychology. You feel me? See, if a lot of people only get caught up in just looking at the violence, but see, you got to look at his mind state because, like I said, I finally figured out why Bishop was like the way he was. Bishop, you know what I'm saying, was real jealous. Bishop, he had a really jealous mentality. And if you look at it, he wanted to take everybody down with him. You want to know who Bishop also remind me of? Diddy. And guess what? The movie was shot in Harlem. Bishop was like early Diddy. Yup. And guess what? Bishop was like Diddy. And guess what? Juice was filmed in Harlem, where Diddy was from. And he wanted to take everybody down right along with him. Obsessed for real, yes. Yo, have you ever really noticed something, yo? The main one, yo, that Bishop was always coming after was always Q for real. You ever notice that, yo? Yeah, they obsessed, yo. He was real obsessed with Q. You ever notice that, yo? It's that real. It is that fucking real, yo. I mean, they got a dark obsession, yo. Why do you think, yo, remember the time when Q went out there looking for him, then he wound up throwing the gun? Remember the time when Bishop came out of the dark and he pointed the gun at Q? You feel me? That was, they were showing that dark obsession. You feel me? They were showing that dark obsession that he had. You notice that? He was hating on Q the most, yo. Remember that time Q was waiting by that station and Bishop came out the dark and he had the gun? That was showing his deep dark obsession that he had for him. He always watching him, you feel me? That is real symbolic, yo. The foreshadowing in Juice, yo, is so real, yo. A deep dark obsession, yo. A deep dark obsession that he had, yo. And I'm really going to tell you, it's that real, yo. It is that real, yo. And I really got to tell you, it's no joke, yo. Yeah. Put the links in the chat, family. To donate, if you would like to, the Cash App is $BMouse8. $BMouse8. Any amounts appreciated. To follow me, my Instagram is BMouse8428. BMouse8428. Yeah, yo. And so this is what you got to recognize, yo. we've been around a lot of our friends. And guess what? And he grew up thinking that Q was his friend. But come to find out, he was Judas in the end. Bishop was never their friend. He was a Judas in the end. Bars. When you take a look at it, yo, Bishop was never their friend. He was Judas in the end. Bars. Bishop was Judas in the end. You know what, yo? You know what Bishop and Q represents? Cain and Abel. He represents Cain and Abel. Yup. Yup, Bishop was Judas, yo. Yup, Bishop was a Judas. Yup. You ready to turn on your own friend, yo. You ready to kill your own friends. Yeah, King James Mayo right. I learned the hard way as well. Yep, he was trying to sabotage Q the most, yo. Ain't that crazy? You going out there trying to get all them bodies, and yup. And like Sister Iman said, he got his return descendant in the end, yup. Bishop got that return descendant in the end, yo. For real, yo. And when he got that return descendant, yup. The end, and yup, in the end, it showed who really got the juice. The one who really had the juice was Q the whole entire time. When you look at it, Q was the one who had the juice the whole time. Right, but his juice, he wasn't trying to fight to get some juice. He naturally had it. He had that aura about him. And Q can see that. That's why, yup, remember that time frame? He was up there trying to make him feel like a punk. Like, man, yo, why we gotta be doing it on this night? This nigga scared. Trying to make him feel bad, you feel me? Remember that part? This nigga scared. That he wanted him to feel that way, yo. He really wanted to make him feel that way, yo. Like he was a damn punk, like he ain't down to try to fight to get some juice. But like he was looking at it like, yo, I got a contest, yo. What time the contest? You know what I mean? And guess what, yo? The main one, yo, go back and look at that scene, yo. If you go back and look at the scene, yo, go back. Yep. Yo, go back and look at that scene. You remember the scene where Raheem first showed her the gun and stuff like that, yo? Yo, look at the part when he was up there talking about his DJ contest. If you look at Bishop, he was giving him that same look. He was giving Bishop gave Q that same look. Looking up at him, hating on him, yo. I'm telling you, Bishop was hating on him the whole time, yo. Yup. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to that scene real quick.
In case of an emergency, it's important to document all your husband's
Matter of fact,
possessions.
I'm gonna go to this for fair use only, yo. You see how he was acting? Fuck that shit. You see that? You see how he was showing his jealousy? You see how Bishop was? You see how he was showing that? You see how he was looking at him, yo? You see that shit? You see that jealousy that he had, yo? For real, yo. You see that jealousy? That was coming, yo. It was full all out, yo. You saw that jealousy right then and there, yo. You see that, yo? That's for fair use only, you feel me? For real, yo. Yo, look at it. He was full, yeah, deep. Ain't it, yo? Ain't it deep? He was literally full out, all out jealous. Ain't it deep, yo? You can see the deeply rooted hate inside of him, yo. You can see the deeply rooted hate inside, yo. Hey, beautiful love. Yup, it was 12-12. Yeah, you see that, yo? You saw that deeply rooted hate inside of Bishop, yo. And see, yo, he was like, fuck, yo, you see that part? He was like, he said, man, I got a DJ Saturday. He was like, well, I guess you gotta be disappointed then. See that? He won't even try to support his homeboy dream. You ready to stick up somebody. You ready to stick up somebody, but your homeboy got a DJ. And you're not even trying to support him. You know what? He showed right then and there, yo. He was not a supporter. He was not a friend. Hey, no flaw, Benji. Yep. Oh, yeah. It would drop epic memories. Yeah, yo, just look at that scene closely, yo. Bishop was showing his hidden jealousy the whole entire time. He didn't want Q to be successful. He wanted him to be down at his level. You feel me? He was super, super jealous. He was super jealous. Super jealous of Q. Yo, just look at the way how he was acting towards him right then and there, talking about, I got a DJ Saturday. Hey, Roman, yeah. That's how real it is, yo. And somebody put the links inside of the chat too, family. Put the links inside of the chat. Yeah, yo, this is that real. Yeah, for real, man. Get them likes up. Ain't it so deep, man? Yo, I really went back and I saw that and I just really looked at it like, wow, yo. So what you gotta understand is this though, yo. When you dealing with people that are claim that they are so-called friends, let me tell you something, yo. A lot of people are just like Bishop, yo. Oh yeah, Q whipped his ass at the end though. Yeah, oh yeah, Q whipped his ass. You wanna know why? They were showing at the end the one with the juice. And guess what? What did it show in the end? Q whipped his ass without that gun. Bishop wasn't shit. Q was the one who had the juice. Q was the wise one. And that's why Bishop failed. Bishop was worried about other men too much. You notice that? You notice that about Bishop? He was worried about other men too much. But not the man in the mirror. He was trying to prove something to Radames, trying to prove something to everybody else in the hood, but not to himself. So he became somebody else and not himself. And that's why he failed. Because he wasn't being himself. You feel me? So that is another lesson that I got from that movie. Bishop was not being himself. Ain't that deep? Hell yeah, Q went toe to toe, yeah. Bishop was not being himself. Yup. He was trying to sabotage him the whole entire time. But guess what? Bishop, you know what I mean? Q showed him in the end who was really the one. He was really, he showed who was the one in the end, yo. Yeah, he was trying to take Bishop's spot, yo. And here's the thing. I mean, Bishop was trying to take Q's spot. Here's the thing. Q was being him. Q wasn't trying, yo. Bishop was in secret competition the whole entire time, yo. When you really look at it, yo, he was in secret competition with him the whole time. Because he was trying to prove himself. Yup. Somebody put the links in the chat, family. Put the links inside of the chat. Yeah, yo. He was hating on him the whole entire time. Ain't that something, yo? Ain't that something, yo? Bishop, yo. And let me tell you, many of us have dealt with bishops. like that. People like Bishop, yo. Many of us had dealt with Bishop, not even necessarily a killer, but a killer of your spirit. Bishop was a spirit killer. Yes, Bishop was a spirit killer. You feel me? He wasn't just a killer. Yep, he wasn't shit without that gun. Yup. Bishop had a narcissistic mentality. He did not want to look in the mirror. Bishop was a narcissist. Yup. 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 Bishop was a narcissist, yo. Yo, that's deep, yo. Ain't that deep? Bishop was a narcissist. That's real shit. He was a dream killer. He was trying to kill the dream of his boy. Abu the Heru. I've been hearing about that. Yeah, Bishop, yo. He was a dream killer, yo. He was a Judas. He was not a friend. Yeah. Oh my God, yo. Yo, we took it on a spiritual level, breaking down juice. Ain't that something, yo? Ain't that something, yo? Yo, this is deep, yo. Yup. Oh my gosh. Oh shit. Bishops are surrounded by symbols, including their mentor, which was a two-shield shaped half. That's why Bishop had that haircut. You know what I mean? That's why his haircut was like that. Yup. Yup. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's deep, yo. My fault. Give me 1 second, fam. I'm just looking up something. Wow. Yup. Bishop means having spiritual or ecclesiastical supervision over others. But see, yeah, he was trying to be that, but Bishop had the wrong spirit. You feel me? And look at what Q represents. Q spiritual meaning represents question, signifying a personal journey of seeking knowledge, understanding, or deeper connection to oneself of the divine. That's what Q was doing. Q was on his personal journey. You feel me? New York building was that was the haircut. Yup. Remember that? Yeah, yo. Yup. Q means yup. Yup, and yup. Q means it symbolizes the ongoing process of questioning, exploration, and seeking answers on the spiritual journey. Hey, have you ever noticed something about Q? Q is asking them questions like, so why we doing? What up, Marcus the Great? Yup, for real. Yeah, this is real talk, yo. Ouch, ouch. Yo, this is real shit, yo. Hey, man, hey, Mr. Nice One. Yo, ain't that deep, yo? That is, yo, that is so heavy, yo. Ain't it, yo? Yo, we breaking down this the symbolism, yo, of juice, yo. Ain't that something, yo? Yeah. Yo, that is crazy, yo. That is heavy. Hey, Zone News TV, what's going on, bruh? Yeah, just take a look at it. Yeah, yo. He was jealous. Yup, Q, you know what I'm saying, was exploring, finding out who he was. You feel me? That's what Q was doing. You feel me? He was tapping into who he was. Bishop wasn't. And he saw that. Just look at the way Bishop, he was jealous of Q. Q was the one who had the juice. Q was the one with the juice. Q is the one. You feel me? So yeah, family. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here for a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and take a breather. You know what I'm saying? Relax myself. It's been a really good stream. I know a lot of y'all gonna go back and watch Juice, look at it from a different standpoint, man. That's exactly what I picked up on it, man. Like, many people recognize your greatness a lot of times when you don't even recognize it. You feel me? But see, now that I broke that down to you, you feel me? That's exactly what a lot of narcissistic haters be doing, man. They already can recognize your greatness, but they want to sabotage it. You feel me? Yup. Yup, they really want to sabotage it. You feel me? So, like I said, man, like the chosen ones, we are like Q. We the one with the juice. And these demonic entities are like Bishop. You know what I mean? They are dream killers. You feel me? They really want to kill your dream. They can see the light, the aura. You feel me? And Q is the smart one. You feel me? So, like I said, family, I don't mean to keep on talking on, but I've been on here for like an hour and 45 minutes. But I had a really good talk to y'all, man. And like I said, y'all go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. And like I said, family, yeah, like I said though, family, to keep on showing love, follow me. My Instagram is bmiles8428, and my email address is brandonmiles410 at yahoo.com. Yep, exactly, BF95. Yep. And to donate, to show love, any amounts appreciated. The Cash App is $ B Mouse 8. $ B Mouse 8, any amounts appreciated. And like I said, y'all go ahead and enjoy and relax, enjoy y'all day. I'm going to be making some more videos. And like I said, I appreciate y'all liking, subscribing to my channel. And I'm always a pleasure. One love once again. Peace out.